Heck you. Hey, man, you want to step up? Frick around and find out. Like,
Hey, what's up? My name's Daniel McLaughlin. Today I brought in my friend Elliott Klein to talk about a topic that's been on my mind lately regarding free gigs post-pandemic. In the world of the working musician, gigs get tossed around all the time just due to scheduling contexts, skill sets, and right now, in the time of COVID, safety precautions are a big thing. But gigs also get tossed around due to the pay. The gig market does not operate outside of a supply and demand economy. Low-paying or free gigs were pretty abundant pre-COVID, and now that we are all on lockdown, those gigs have gone away. Recently, I passed on an invite to a free gig. Actually, it was recommended to me from my buddy Elliott, who you're about to meet in a second. My personal thought right now is that the risks of playing a gig during the pandemic kind of far outweigh the benefits of playing a free gig. And I wanted to get his opinion on that. Elliott Klein, welcome to the YouTube channel. Elliott, I have a question for you to start this off. All right.
okay.
Economists in the Wall Street Journal today predicted that within the next 6 to 12 months, autumn leaves could be worth more than gold. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a good one. I like that a lot.
Today, we're going to talk about free gigs.
I don't know. I haven't played a gig in a long time. So, yeah.
To be honest, I also have not played a gig in a long time. I've been playing all your gigs. No, you've been pretty COVID responsible, even subbing out quite a few of your well-paying gigs. Do you want to elaborate on why you chose to sub out a lot of those gigs?
Yeah, I had family move in that's, immunocompromised. And so it's just not the respectful thing to do, I think.
Yeah, it just makes sense, right? I mean, if someone came around and was just like, here's $1,000 gig, though, would you take it?
I could go play a casino in Laughlin, Nevada for $1,000 for the weekend or something. I'm not going to Laughlin, Nevada right now. But if it's, hey, can you play the Latin Grammys for $200? I'll be like, that'll look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll gladly do that.
Yeah.
That's worth it. That's a different thing, though.
No longer is it just driving to the gig, maybe paying for some food, maybe shedding the tunes before. Now it's considering that you need to quarantine for 14 days post-gig to be COVID responsible.
Well, that's
to be
my
safe.
scenario.
That's your scenario. I think there's an element to that scenario for everybody, though. Everything that we do now has risk, After a few of the country gigs that I subbed for you, I got COVID tests just to be safe,
I don't know. It's not like what gigs are now forever. So, I mean, everything has an asterisk to it. So, you'd be like, oh, this is what I have to do now, unfortunately, but it'll go away.
There's going to be a period of COVID anxiety and reopening when a mass-produced vaccine takes hold. I personally think that free or exposure gigs may present as simply not worth the risk as reopening is occurring. This could lead to an undersupply of musicians for an oversupply of gigs.
I doubt that.
What are your thoughts? You don't think so?
Oh.
People are going to be wanting to get out.
Yeah. What is it? No, I don't think. I think people will want to play gigs plenty. I think the people who play the free gigs gladly already will be the ones dying to play those free gigs. I don't think there's such an oversupply of musicians that even if it took a drastic hit, there would still be an oversupply. I don't think there will be a oversupply of work and undersupply of musicians. That would be amazing though, because I would gladly start playing a bar for $1,000 and $1,000 gig for $10,000.
I mean, I don't think that those gigs will pop up, but I think that you came from New York where a singer-songwriter gig, right, as far as I know, would be assumed that you're getting paid at least $50 out of their pocket just to make it work, right?
You're making anywhere between a drink ticket and $250. It really depends on the gig. to have an expectation would be like a misstep on your part, or on my part, because every single scenario, every single artist has a different backing, has a different expectation. There's the people that go, "Oh, if you pay your band well, they'll really stick by you and everything like that. So I need to treat them well, and I maybe don't need to have a bottomless brunch on Sunday, so I can make sure to pay, my band." And there's other people that go, "I just had a $400 brunch. Sorry, I can't afford more than $40 for the band." There's just different people every time.
Yeah, it's definitely a brunch to gig pay relationship.
And also it's and if you're playing with friends, gladly play
Oh,
free.
definitely. I mean, the friend thing I think will just stay in always because it is just fun to play with friends. I mean, there is that kind of rule of three, right? You have the two out of the three categories, and the gig is one that you maybe want to consider doing. And it's pay, it's good hang, good people, right? And then good experience. Good music. I mean, that would be good experience too, like a good time there, Good music playing at what's like a famous New York place. What am I trying to think of? Radio City Music Hall? Yeah.
Rockwood. Oh, yeah. Or Radio City would be much better
Radio
than
City.
Rockwood, but yeah.
What's like a good place in New like Madison Square Garden? Like if you're getting asked to play for free at MSG, it might be something you want to consider.
If you're getting asked to play for free at your friend's backyard party, who cares? Like if it's your friends and it's good music.
Totally. And that's good experience, good people, right?
I
Right?
would like to play for free at Madison Square Garden. I would
Yeah.
do that.
As would I. I think what COVID has introduced is a higher stakes bad experience. Like it makes the bad experiences much worse. So now you have to have a little bit more to consider playing a gig.
It's it's just another complicated thing that I think will go into consideration of like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this
Yeah.
this gig or that gig or whatever? Or like,
We've seen things like Stage It. Do you remember Stage It like 8 years ago? $10 to see like a kind of a crappy live stream, like, and it's just like, it's just the worst.
well, stage it, and then there was UStream also. I think it was UStream.
They were pretty bad. And like, I absolutely did not want to give money to something like that for it to happen. But now people who are planning on doing live stream shows are actually seeking out professional grade studios to record these things in, to like have like a camera crew going. And do you think that it's going to persevere through the reopening?
Well, I don't think the live stream gigs. I think those were like a hilarious thing at the beginning, but at least on my feed, they kind of died out. Um, everyone had the experience of basically every other person they've ever met going live, and their Instagram stories just being like a collection
Oh,
of people going live.
yeah.
That kind of died, and then the things people are doing remotely are basically like DIY music videos, which I think will still be a thing. They were a thing. They are like the only thing now, and then. Or what is it? Those live streamed like Joe Bonamassa blues reviews, or you play the show at the venue, but like barely anyone is there. But that's recorded really, really well. That's cool. And
Yeah,
it's
like what
also
they've been
like
doing at the Troubadour and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. I look back on some of the classic rock stuff that I used to really enjoy, and a lot of music videos for bands like Black Sabbath even would do live takes of a song, and that would be their music video. Maybe that's going to make a comeback or something. I mean, you look at what Billie Eilish did with No Time to Die. And then she
cool.
also, didn't she do an online concert with like insane high production value? She did. She definitely did do a concert with a very high production value that she charged for getting into. Elliot, what free gig would you definitely play
Yeah, anyone with
right now? Right now,
right now.
during COVID. Yeah, COVID and reopening.
Um, it would be, well, reopening. If Ah, right now, I guess the only option for like my living situation would be like free if someone wanted something on a track and they just had no money. They're like, I'm just trying to put some stuff together, trying to use this time to be creative. I'd be like, yeah, let me help.
Didn't you did a music video with Kristen Lynn very early on at the beginning of the pandemic. You didn't end up doing that?
No, no, we canceled that.
Okay. But in a situation like that, I mean, that was what? That was Joshua Tree. That would have
Hmm.
been just you 5 or 6. COVID tests, would you do it today?
Sure. I'd prefer just like I love that people are writing a lot, and I don't know about you, but I love hearing like what I could do for a song, and it feels like a moment of pride to hear your instrument with a song that you enjoy listening to, and you're like, that's me and the thing. That's great. Uh, and
Yeah, I have a lifelong dream of like hearing myself in a grocery store and being like, "That's me." you know?
and it's just you at Ralph's, and you're like, hey, by the way, this is my guitar player, or this is my guitar playing, and you're like, yeah. Anyway, do you have a
The
Ralph's card or
cashier's
no?
just like, "Nice. I played bass on this too." It's just that one Ralph's on Hollywood Boulevard. The rock and roll Ralphs.
The only thing I would say that you never do for free is don't like. Why would anyone teach for free? I I get it when people want to play gigs for free. I get it when people want to play gigs for cheap because they just love it, or they whatever, just want to have a fun time, or they're a dentist who plays some instrument and they just want to gig at the local park or something. But when people start underpaying or undercutting people for lessons and start offering like $10 for an hour lesson after the first four, which are free, and being like, what are you doing? Um, one, because if I was someone trying to purchase a lesson, I would have to acknowledge that I don't value music or guitar at all to pay $15 for an hour. And then two, it would be yeah, that's like, please don't ruin the last beacon of income for people. Like, we can all teach, uh so and it's an okay way to make money, so like please don't ruin that also. or or just make your passion teaching and let all the gigs be only for professionals. That would be great. Either one, as long as there's some way to make money that's not miserably difficult.
Like if you value what you're getting out of like a serious guitar teacher, you would be willing to pay $100 an hour for a lesson.
That teacher wouldn't just kind of go, yeah, let's just play you know uh parent let's just play Paranoid for an hour. Then
Yeah.
fine, by all means pay $20 because no one cares for that hour.
Yeah.
But again, at the $80 mark or something like that, or $100 mark, you're getting someone who will be really, really concerned with your growth and love and appreciation with music and your instrument, which is what you would want. Because why, you might as well just go see horribly written movies. Um,
Yeah.
you might as well just go, you might as well just, drive cars with 5 gallons per mile or whatever. You might as well just invest in horrible things. I don't understand why someone would do that, unless they just hated quality. I don't know. Whatever.
That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, a big example, dude, you paid for a lesson with Julian Lage right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, I sure did, and I would gladly do that again.
I mean, it's also not something that you would want every week. It's probably something if you checked in with him quarterly and he was just like, "Dude, yeah, let's work on this now. Let's work on this now." And
You
he could
know,
have kind of some insight.
yeah. At certain times, though, in my life, um, like if I didn't go to music school, I would love a weekly Julian Lodge lesson, because that would be
Oh,
my entire curriculum. So like in that scenario,
yeah.
I would want it in even in even in a lot of scenarios, but I'm not sure I'd have to have like an abundance of like different kinds of gigs where I'm like getting a lot of chances to use what he's telling me, and then even then I could do a one a week or even every other week like check in of like, hey, I practiced for such and such hours, and I used it on a gig, and then I did that 5 days this week, and then here's where I'm at with this, and if I would do the lessons every 3 days if my progress like called for it.
Totally. Yeah, if you were shedding like 8 hours a day, I mean, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I'm cool if you're cool.
I'm cool. You cool? Hey, thanks so much to Elliott Klein for being on the video today. If you want to check out his channel, he posts kind of similar content to mine. You can check out his channel right here. And what do you think about this? Am I totally off base? Do we hope this is correct and we're kind of seeing the end of free gigs? Leave a comment down below what you think. And as always, my name's Daniel McLaughlin. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Like I would not take a slide gig. I would definitely sub that out to you.
Really?
Absolutely.
I would have
Absolutely.
thought you were good at slide because of the whole leaning toward like, bluesy Americana thing.
You'd think. I wouldn't say I lean towards that though. I don't know. I would
What
like to be
genre are
better
you?
at slide. What genre am I? Are you asking me to pigeonhole an artiste?